gap.
No, that is the management accountant.
Does not
Financing, does not.
prepare according to God, but the financial according to God. The management accountant also provide information for what? Internal use, usually by management, by the financial accountant for external users, usually shareholders. We good? So these are some differences we can talk about. Let's go to question 2, throughput accounting ratio. So question 2, the examiner said we should calculate the throughput accounting ratio for the company. That's the first requirement. So we mentioned that throughput accounting ratio is return per factory hour over cost per factory hour. And we said this will be workings 1, this will be workings 2, isn't it? The returns per factory hour will be equal to the throughput, where the throughput is selling price minus material cost divided by what? The hours, factory hour per unit, but of the limiting factor, isn't it? These are principles. Then cost per factory hour will be equal to the total factory cost over what? Total factory hour. Now when we say total factory cost, we mean direct labor cost or labor cost and what? Overheads. So these are the principles that we need to understand in relation to that. So let's go to the question 2 and then fish out things that the examiner has mentioned. Solar system, ESCO makes 2 types of solar panels. At 8 manufacturing panel, large panels for commercial consumers and small panels for domestic consumers. All panels are produced using the same material, machinery, and skilled labor force. Production takes 5 days per week from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's 13 hours. 50 weeks of the year. It's very important for us to begin to understand what is happening. That every week, what is happening is that there is going to be 5 days in a week times 50 weeks in a year times 13 hours every day. Do you understand that? So if we want to look for annual hours or factory hours, that's how it's going to be. But I don't want us to get the answer now because something else may happen in the question. But this is what you need to understand. That if I want the total factory hours for the year, it is 5 hours times 50 weeks. 5 days a week times 50 weeks times what? 13 hours per day. Sounds good? Because every day 13 hours. There are 50 weeks in a year and then what? 5 days each week.
54.
In this question, they said 50 weeks.
Okay.
You know, every company, they go leave and those stuff. So each panel has to be cut, modeled, and then assembly using a cutting machine called C, a molding machine called M, and an assembly machine called A. So there are 3 stages. So we have C, we have M, and we have A. These are the 3 stages our 2 panels that we are producing go through. Next, as part of government scheme to increase renewable energy sources, ESCO has guaranteed not to increase the price of small or large panel for the next 3 years. It has also agreed to supply a minimum of what? 1,000 small panels. So if we talk about demand schedule, there is a minimum guarantee of what? 1,000 small panels. These are key things you identify in the question as you are reading. Due to poor productivity, late orders and declining profit over recent year, the finance director has suggested the introduction of throughput accounting within the organization, together with a just-in-time system of production. Material cost and selling prices for what? Each type of panel are shown what? Below. Did you hear that? For each type of panel. That means that from the thing given to me here, I can calculate the throughput. I don't know if you get a picture. Because if I should put large panels here, and I put small panels here, I put my dollar sign. Remember we said throughput is what? Selling price minus material cost. So we've been given the selling price per unit as what? For large? 12,600. Small? Then the material cost. And then 1160. So I'm going to get my throughput to be as what? I hope you are following me. How I'm fishing out the things and solving them one after the other. So when we do the arithmetic, what do I get? How much? 8,300. 2,640. Now there are always what I call easy marks in the exam hall. And this is how you get the easy marks. So you've not finished reading the question, but you know that when I see this thing, this is how I do it. That's what I want you to understand. That is why I did this thing. That is why I wrote this down. And that is why I am calculating throughput. Because when I see this thing, this is how I do it. Next, the total factory cost, which include cost of labor and all factory overheads, are what? 4 million. What is that? It means if I'm calculating cost per factory hour, the total factory cost figure has also been given to me. So I put my skeletal easy marks down. So cost per factory hour will be the total factory cost, which has been given to me as 4 million. Sorry, 12 million. Divided by total factory hour. I don't know it, but I write it down. This is saving time. Next, out of the 13 hours, remember what I told you here. We have 13 hours a day, but there is something the examiner is about to say about that. So look at it. Out of the 13 hours available for production each day, workers take 1 hour lunch break. For the remaining 12 hours, machine C utilizes 85% of the time, machine M and A utilize only what? 90% of the time. So look at it. If they take 1 hour break, then how many hours do they actually work? 12 hours. So I'll clean this 13 and make it 12, so that my factory hours will be multiplied for me. How much? 3,000. Factory hours. Let's continue. So as I'm reading, I know how to treat the items. The unproductive time arises either as a result of routine maintenance or because of staff absenteeism. As each machine needs to be manned by skilled labor in order for the machine to run. The skilled workers are currently only trained to work on one type of each machine. Maintenance work is carried out by external contractors who provide around the clock. That is they are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Should it be required? We are not interested in that. We don't need it right now. Now look at the last scenario because it's important. The following information is available for machine M, which has been identified as what? The bottleneck resources. You know, when we are doing throughput accounting ratio, there are three processes here. L to C, C to M to A. Three processes. Now, M has been identified as what? The limiting factor process. That is it. It means you don't have to find it in this question. Wayama or dada. It is a wayama or dada there. Everything you're going to be doing will be centered around the M. It says that available. So, which has been identified as M. So, large panel, hours per unit is what? 1.4 for large and then 0.6 for what? Small. So, look at it. Look at the pieces. Return per factory hour is throughput divided by what? Factory hour per unit. Factory hour per unit of what? So I have my throughput. I can now bring the factory hour of the limiting factor. Do you see the picture? So what is the usage per hour? 1.4 for large and then what? 0.6 for small. Divide for me. That gives us the return per factory hour. $5,929. Did you approximate? Did you?
Yes. And the next one is
4,000. Are you following the picture? Now, we've got one side of the question, but we're not done. Now, if the examiner is telling us that, look at this closely. If the examiner is telling us that machine M is the limiting factor, then what is the total factory hours available for the company? Because if you go back to the question, we are told that machine M utilizes only 90% of the time that is allocated to it. True or false? True. That means the factory hour we will use here, it's going to be what? 3,000, and we take what? Only 90% of it. Are they missing? So the total factory hour, we're not going to take the whole 3,000 because the whole 3,000 was not utilized. We will take 90% of the 3,000. Can I have an answer?
That is for machine M.
Yes.
But why is it
Why is it?
limiting factor?
Because we've been told in the question that that's the limiting factor. So we pick it like that. Are you getting it? Then also in this question, we've been told that all the machines don't use the hours available. So in that case, we will center our factory hours around the limiting factor. 2,700. That's the final answer. Or, okay, so this is 12 million. Okay, so don't worry, let me write it. 2,700 hours. Sounds good. I hope you get the explanation. So you have to make sure you understand what we're doing well. Had it not been that the factory uses only 90%, we would have brought this 3,000 because that's normally what we do. That's a normal thing we do. So cost per factory are 4,444. 4,444.444. Someone wants more approximate. So let's approximate that too. Any question, please? Are we done? No. 10 marks. So See how 10 marks is. It's cheap, Papa. So let's calculate throughput now. So in calculating throughput, oh, my space. Otherwise, I would have done professional presentation. Do you get it? By my space. So I'll just continue here. But when you are writing, okay, when you are writing, let it continue for professional presentation. No professional skepticism. That one, you are in audit. So let's bring our return per factory hour here again, which is 5929,4,400. Then look at it. We said the throughput is what? Return per factory hour over what? Cost per factory hour. So cost per factory hour will be the same for them. When there are two products, it will be the same. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. We divide, and I have an answer. So throughput accounting ratio. So 1.3. So 1.3. No point one. That's it. No, you can't take it to 1. Just leave it there. It's closer to 1, which means it's also good. Are you getting it? So all of the products are good. All of the products are good. Are we done? 10 marks. So. But look at how the question was packed. And when you look at the question and you'll be like, when will I finish reading?
That's it.
How many of you read it completely? You read it completely. And you didn't see the things we are saying.
I saw some, but I didn't mark.
Oh, let me see.
I did the factory hours 3,000.
Okay.
Then I did the throughput, the 8,3.
Oh, I didn't mark you. I should have marked you.
6. And the limiting with.
You didn't see it. You were not able to detect
I
it.
know. I made a mistake. I found 90% of 3,000. Used the tax there.
Ah, so you were using 2,700 rather here.
Yes.
Ah, wow. Then you could have got it though. You could have just. So here it should be per unit. It should be per unit. So that was a good attempt. So now you know throughput. This is how he is. He's a nice guy. Now, usually, if the examiner asks us to do optimum production mix like this, we would have ranked the products. And when we rank, who is higher? Large. We would have decided to produce large first, and if some of the 2,700 hours is left, then we will produce what? The small. But from the question we read that the company has had a contract with the government to supply a minimum of 1,000. Do you remember? I wrote it down here. A demand of 1,000. That means that we need to produce the small first, so that if any hour is left, we use it to produce what? The large. Here again, the rule is being breached because of the question. So how do we put our schedule up? We just put our schedule up like this and say that maybe we can put hours per unit here. Yeah. Then we can put total hours here. Then we can put, he said we should get a maximum profit. So we can put throughput here. Now, look at it. So when it comes to small panels, we're going to be producing 1,000. So when we produce 1,000 units, what is the hour per unit for small panel? 0.6. So when we multiply, how many hours will we get? 600. 600 hours. What's the total hours available to us? 2,700. Into the other you bet me produce you. What if free my 2,100. Into this 2,100, each usage for large panel is what? 1 point. Is it 4 or 3? 1.4. So when you divide, then you will get what? The unit. Are you okay? What do we have? 2940. Now these are in units. So if we want to get throughput, the total throughput, we will multiply the units with the throughput per unit we had here. What? This divided by this. Hey, into when I'm going bomb, sir. Edwina, you multiply. Oh, madam, is it not the maximum machine hours available? 1,500 units. Now this is units, but we are looking for total throughput here. So how do we get total throughput? We multiply what? The units by the throughput per unit we had here. What was the throughput per unit for large? For small, sorry.
Large is 0.99.
No, the throughput from our workings.
Yes.
From our workings.
0.99.
I didn't say the throughput ratio.
Okay.
I didn't say the returns per factory hour.
Okay.
Throughput Nankasa. 8,000. So we multiply that. So 8,300 by the 1,000 units to get a total throughput. Are they missing? Because I could go this way. I could come and prepare profit statement like this. Maybe let me go that way. I want to save time for you in the exam, but let me go this way, then I'll come back to this. If I'm going this way, what will be my sales revenue? Are you getting the idea?
It's like contribution per unit.
Contribution per unit. Then we would have less factory cost, then we'll get a total cost. Are we okay with that? So can I stay with that? Okay. So give me throughput now. So when we multiply, what do we get? So this by the 1,000. 8 million. So why did he say no? 8 million. 300,000. Then what is about the throughput for large?
2,600.
So what do we get? 3 million. Okay. So what do we have? Total throughput.
12,060,000.
Right? Then we less total factory cost. What's the total factory cost? 12 million, I guess. So what's my profit? There you go. No need. I have to serve it here. So question 3. Portable garage. Portable garage. Everybody down here? So let's go to question 3, portable garage. Francis, were you able to do it? Yeah? Irina, did you do it?
No, I tried something.
But what did I do?
I didn't get it. Circle.
Okay, so let's look at how it is. Very simple questions. The Portable Garage Co. is a company specializing in the manufacture and sale of a range of products for motorists. It is split into 2 divisions. The battery division, that is Division B, and what? The adapter division, that is Division A. So of the bets, we know that BGC is in 2 divisions, Div B, battery, and then Div A, adapters. These are the 2 divisions. Next, the battery division, that's Division B, and adapter. Okay, Division B sells one product, the portable battery charger for motorists, which can be attached to a car's own battery and used to start up the engine when the car's own battery falls. Division A sells adapters which are used for customers to charge mobile phones and adapter by attaching them to the car's internal power source. Recently, Department B has upgraded its portable battery so it can also be used to rapidly charge mobile devices and laptops. The mobile device or laptop must be attached to the battery using a special adapter which is supplied to the customers with the battery. Division B currently buys the adapter from Division A. What do you see here? Division B, they buy from what? A. In other words, part of A sales is going to go for B. So that's one thing you need to understand. That is how movement occurs. The mobile, where am I? Division B currently buys the adapter from Department A, which also sells them to what? The external market. So B buys some and then sells to what? The external market. Division B selling price for each portable is what? 180. Cost per battery. Adapter from A is 13. Yeah, it's a ring. Then it says other material from external supplier is 45. Labor cost is 35. Annual fixed overhead is 5.4 million, 5.460. Annual production and sales unit is 150,000. Then maximum annual market demand is 180,000. This is for Department what? For Division B. When we come to Division A, the selling price per adapter to Division B is how much? 13. Remember, when there is interdivision sales, it becomes a revenue for this guy, but it becomes what? A cost for this guy. At that same price of what? 13. In the external market, Division B sells to at a price of what? 15. So, externally, Division A sells at $15, and then externally Division B sells at what price? 180. Can you see that? 180 top here, selling for the portable. 180. So they sell at 180, but these people, they sell to B 13 and they sell to external 15. Annual fixed cost is 2.2 million. Currently, annual production capacity and sales of adapters, both internal and external, is 350,000. Maximum annual external demand is what? 200. Now, get it well. The total of these guys is 350. But the external, they will sell 200 to them. If they sell 200 to external, then how much do they sell to these people? 150. Sounds good? Very important. In addition to the material and labor costs above, Division A incurs a variable cost of $1 per adapter for all adapter it sells externally. So these guys incur additional cost of $1 per adapter. Currently, the head office's purchases policy only allows Division B to purchase the adapter for Division A. But Division A has refused to sell Division B any more than the current level of adapter it supplies to it. On the flip side, the manager of Department B is unhappy. He has a special industry contract who he could buy the adapter from at the same price